Love is Blind Season 10 is already off to a shaky start, but true love has been found and the girls are standing on business. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, it's Nay. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Love is Blind Season 10, the pod episode. So if you haven't seen them yet and you do not want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on the pods and their reveals, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like and a hype before you go. Quick housekeeping before we get into this video. One, I dropped a separate video on the Steven allegations. I will link it below. I suggest you watch that if you want my thoughts on it. I don't really know if that's the right phrase, but whatever. If I put it in a separate video, I suggest watching that because I'm not gonna really be addressing it in this video. He does appear briefly in one episode, I'm pretty sure. And if it's more than one, it's like one and like 5 minutes of the other. So I am going to be discussing him because I actually think it's important to the situation. So I am going to be mentioning him in a brief context, but I'm not really going to be going into detail. So I suggest watching that video if you want to know about that. Secondly, as we always do, we're going to be watching the reunion together. Every single season of Love is Blind, we watch the reunion together on my Discord server. It's always great. We have a good kiki. We get to chat while we're watching, so it's always a good time. If you're already in my Discord, then you already know what the deal is. If you're not, it's linked below. I suggest joining now if you're not familiar with Discord, because it can be a little bit confusing in the beginning. So join the server. We'll watch the reunion together. With all of that being said, Netflix casting to the front of the damn classroom. Who the hell casted Kevan? This love triangle between him, Tyler, and Keya could not have unfolded any messier than it did. I love how it ended though, because I really do think he deserved it. Can I just say something? I was rooting for Kevan, Tyler engagement at first. I was all over it. I was like, oh, I like them together. They seem to be vibing really well. I love her story about making it to a director level by just being herself.
I can go look at a little girl like me that came from where I came from and be like, girl, you ain't got to do much about your personality. This isn't about personality. It's not about like code switching. Like, be who you are. My biggest accomplishment is that I was able to get to where I am today while being true to myself.
As a Black woman in corporate America, I can really relate to that. And it's honestly something that I struggle with. All of the corporate jobs that I have held, which has not been that many, 3, have always been primarily white. And so sometimes it can feel a little weird to show up authentically Black in those spaces because, well, if you know, you know. It just doesn't feel, something about it feels like you're being judged, especially when you're a Black woman, especially when you have natural hair like I do. Being a Black woman in corporate America is a little bit like walking on eggshells, I'm not gonna lie, because any reaction that you have, if you have an authentic laugh, if you have a moment where you're frustrated, there are already existing labels in place that are set to make you the bad person. Oh, she was a little loud today in the kitchen. Did you hear her? Oh, did you see how upset she got? You know, so it's kind of like you want to be a human being and experience real emotions, whether those be good or bad. And you also feel kind of restricted because your emotions are policed by society. And so showing up authentically is something that I struggle with and I work on improving all the time because I love being able to show up as my Black ass self. Where she lost me though was saying that she was ready to move for a man that she just met, husband or not.
I'm in Columbus, I know you're in Cincy.
Yeah.
How do you think we would attack that?
If I gotta go to Columbus, if I gotta go to Cleveland, if I gotta go to Alaska, like I'm doing what I gotta do to be with my partner because I believe in the power of marriage. I have a great job, but if you are my husband, I will make whatever work.
I think the biggest thing is guilt. Like, I don't want to feel like it's like I was taking away, you know? Like, it's just so,
If we were to be married, right? Like what I just said, I meant it.
I don't really know about leaving your career this early on. Maybe in a couple of years after they had settled into the marriage, it would have been a good idea to leave her career and start over in a new city. But right off rip, when you don't really know him, I know you're about to get married, but when you don't really know him, insane move. So like I said, I was rooting for this union. And then Tyler started taking his connection with Keya a little bit more seriously, and it was all downhill from there. Now, to Keya's credit, she came on this show very focused. Now, there is a part of me that wonders if Keya knew very early on that she was not going to say yes to Kevan regardless. And if she stayed in the game just because she knew she could. Sometimes I got that vibe from her. However, on the other hand, I also got the vibe that she was just very level-headed about the fact that this was a reality TV dating show. And she came in very focused on what the situation was.
I don't think I'm necessarily worried about Kevan dating other folks. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing.
I think that a lot of times people here probably make knee-jerk decisions, and it wasn't even something that needed to be decided so soon.
And y'all know this is something that I say all the time because I feel like a lot of people come on this show and forget that it's Love is Blind. Yes, the person that you're dating is going to be dating, what is it, 14 or 15 other people or something like that. And so a lot of people end up coming on this show and they're jealous. And being jealous is okay. But being jealous and delusional is not. Sometimes people start acting like they should be the only one someone is talking to very early on in this experiment, and that's just not how it's designed to be. So hearing her say, hey, I know what the reality is. I know you're dating other people. You should explore that to its full extent. I like that she was able to get there. But yeah, on the other hand, I do wonder if she just got there because she knew she could. Because she knew she had him. There's just a tiny little hint, a little pinch of, I'm doing this because I know I'm that girl. Because I do feel like there was a point where Kevan was trying to break up with her and she literally would not let him.
I do think you deserve the world.
Yes, I do. I know that. But to be clear, I don't want a man that has it all.
And I do think that she was right about people making knee-jerk decisions because that's exactly what Tyler ends up doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, I'm so happy for y'all. But I'm not doing this shit.
And even the producers were like, girl, don't you always run away when there are problems? And isn't that why your single ass is on this show to begin with?
He said the other connection was stronger?
No, he didn't say it was stronger, but he said, like, after his first date, like, I'm feeling strong connection. I'm gonna make the decision for you, and I'm gonna leave.
But isn't that what you've done in the past? Like,
it is. What I did in the past was leave.
He did all that hooting and hollering just to walk back into the women's lounge talking about redo.
Redo. Oh, what?
Not a redo.
Redo is crazy. Soul Ties is crazy. Tyler going into the women's lounge all hyped up about her conversations with Kevan is valid. Those are real feelings. She was really excited about him. But of course, Keya was also dating him and she felt a way about it. You could tell by the expressions on her face.
Are you dating Kevan?
No.
Who? Are you dating Kevan? You don't give me Kevan vibes.
Sorry to say, but
I'm definitely getting engaged.
I do think that by season 10, people should know not to go into either lounge and discuss with people who you're dating. It only creates jealousy and envy, and it's also really confusing because that other person could really be having a connection with two other people. And if you go in there being like, oh, he said this today or she said this today, then it's like, well, damn, what the hell was she saying to me? When in reality, maybe he really did just like both of y'all. I don't know. I just wouldn't want to make somebody else feel down. And also, I don't need nobody going after my man. So I really wouldn't be telling anybody who the person is who I'm talking to. Of course, eventually they're going to start to figure it out. But off top, I wouldn't be telling anybody anything. Especially not until it was official. And Tyler is definitely messy for calling Keya his side bitch.
I'm dating Kevan.
I know I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Keya. Damn, I didn't think that.
If they've been dating for this long, she could be my man's side bitch.
Y'all was both on the side. Kevan was his own main bitch. Because even when he does choose Tyler, he still said, you are currently my girlfriend. What does that mean?
Are we like official?
You are currently my girl.
You could say that he meant, oh, she's currently my girlfriend because eventually she's going to be my fiance and my wife. But what he really meant was, you currently are my girlfriend. Maybe it could be Keya tomorrow. That's what he was trying to say when he used the word currently. And Tyler should have known better than to walk back in that lounge talking about, I have a boyfriend. No, you don't. You have a friend who happens to be a boy, not a boyfriend. This man was indecisive the entire time. And you think that he finally made a decision? Let's be real with ourselves for a second. Because I wouldn't trust a damn thing that he said. But after they do make it official, I guess they had been in the pods for a while. And Tyler's like, oop, I need to go take me a little bathroom break. She goes to do that. In the time that it took her to use the bathroom and come back, this man had changed his mind and flip-flopped again. Have y'all ever played The Sims? I love The Sims. I play with mods, I play without mods, all of it. When Kevan was having that conversation with Tyler after they came back from their bathroom break, he was like, I remember I did ask you to be my girlfriend, but I also had a connection with Keya. But I do want you, but I also want her, but I do want you.
You know, at the end of the day, Tyler, I felt very deeply about you, but me and Keya were able to bond. You know, definitely, you know, bond and exchange gifts. It's relating to a lot of stuff.
How are you gonna tell me that? You literally asked me to be your girlfriend.
Yes, I want you to be my girlfriend, but having two amazing people, I want you. I do want that.
Oh my God, I feel crazy.
Don't feel crazy, Tyler.
But baby, tomorrow, you supposed to be getting down on one knee.
I know.
He reminded me of when you start stacking all the tasks for your Sims to do. Oh, you need to go use the restroom. Oh, you need to go take the trash out. You need to feed the baby. You need to wash the dishes. You need to cook the food. You need to get on the computer. You need to practice your instrument. When you start stacking all those Sims tasks and your Sim is just like, I don't know where to go. That's what Kevan reminded me of. It's like his brain was processing so many thoughts at once that what resulted was an absolute nothing burger. And that's why Tyler was sitting over there in that other pod with her flabbers the fuck gasted. Because that man was saying a whole lot of words, but nothing at all. She started looking directly at the cameras like she was on an episode of The Office. Like, are y'all hearing this shit? I was literally screaming at my TV. I was like, I know this man is not sitting there like a Sim who's overloaded. What is happening? Even the producers couldn't get a straight answer out of him.
What percentage of your heart is with Keya, and what percent is with Tyler?
I don't know if I can put a percent on it. What I will say is that for different reasons, there's something that's pulling me. And I truly don't want to mess that up.
And it was this man's last day to make a damn decision. Go home, Roger. But he didn't. Tyler was the one who went home. And good for her. But then he had the nerve to feel away when she didn't show up to the pods.
Wow.
But I really need Kevan to understand that it gets to a point. She had already threatened to leave once, gave you another chance. You think she was about to give you another on TV? Not gonna happen. And at least nobody can say that she didn't give him a chance. She did. Several chances. Then when it comes to Keya, he was essentially telling her the same thing.
I probably should let Keya win.
Okay, good. You want Keya to win, so you're choosing Keya.
Let everybody win.
Let what? He told both of them that he felt ready to be married, even when they were telling him, you clearly are not ready to be married.
How do you talk about engagements and weddings and marriage and life if you don't feel ready to be married, if you don't feel ready to be engaged?
I feel ready.
You are not ready to be anyone's husband right now.
I felt ready.
And the lie detector test determined that was a lie. On one of their final dates, Keya and Kevan exchanged gifts. She gave Kevan a watch. And Kevan had to let her know, ooh, yeah, I'm not on this level. I ain't got it like that. Basically, I could not afford to buy this watch for myself. And I'm gonna be real, I think that Keya already knew that. Something about her giving him that watch felt very much Beyonce upgrade you. I'm not saying that you need to be the richest man, but at their ages, you need to come with a little bit more. And if you don't have it yet, that's fine. But you shouldn't be trying to date, let alone get married. This man was not ready, mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially, to be a husband. And I'm glad that Keya left him too. And she let him know, look, you could keep the watch. The watch is nothing to a player like me, baby. Just make sure you use that watch as a reminder that you need to step it up. Queen.
I'm always stand on business and I gotta choose me every time. Get your shit together, you know?
Yeah.
And be great. Make sure you're looking at that watch to make sure you stay in check.
She did say she had a tiny bit of an urge to try to fix him, which I do think is something that a lot of women do. But I'm gonna be honest, I think she cut this relationship off at the perfect time. He needed that humbling. He had already had one humbling experience when Tyler left, but he needed it again because he was getting ready to be like, it's you, baby girl. The whole time knowing that it wasn't her, because it wasn't either of them. I love that she didn't mold him into what she wanted him to be. She showed him what he could be, and then she kept it pushing. And I really think the lesson here is black women, go where you are wanted and appreciated. I hate that this man came on this show and played with these two black women like this, because we already know how black women get represented on reality TV, period. For it to come from a black man is extra disheartening. I'm expecting it from edits. I'm expecting it from maybe non-black men. But black men, you gonna come on here and play in their faces like this? You deserve every bit of embarrassment and humbling that you got. Can't blame this on production. I can't blame it on a bad edit. Kevan was just a bad person. He came here ill-equipped to be a husband. And I really need y'all to stop coming on these shows and treating black women like this. I'm serious. I'm about sick of it because we don't deserve it. They deserve someone who is sure about them. They deserve someone who's not gonna ping pong them across the table. They're gorgeous. He didn't know that, but they're gorgeous. They have great personalities. They deserve more. They didn't deserve to get treated like this. And I'm not saying that he had to want either of them off rip, but what I am saying is that he played in their faces and then he went back to the men's lounge and was like, guys, they left. And again, this ill-equipped man started receiving ill-advised reassurance from his boys.
I don't think you're in the wrong at all, and you should not look at it and from that light.
I think you dodged a bullet, bro.
He didn't dodge a bullet. She dodged a bullet. I'm sorry, but I am a believer of how you show up in one situation is how you're going to show up in most situations. And I do feel that he would have been an inconsistent and indecisive husband. Every major decision that needed to be made for the next 20, 30, 40 years, Kevan would have been stumbling, simming between which decision to make. He doesn't know. He's going back and forth. Baby, at this point, I'm about to make the choice for you. And now I feel like I'm mothering you because I'm making all your major decisions. No, thank you. It's time for Kevan to put a damn pep in his step. Tyler said,
Jesus died single. I don't need to die single.
but I bet she'd rather be alone than be with Kevan. Moving on to the functioning couples, we have Vic and Christine. I like these two together and I really hope that I don't have to change my mind on them because as of right now, I would say they're one of the strongest couples. I feel like they are both so genuine. And they're on the same page about religion, family, growth, all of it.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today in prayer and ask for continued love, patience, and understanding. Amen.
Amen. And amen and amen.
I literally wrote amen and amen.
I just feel like they can't go wrong. Famous last words. Now, Netflix is petty as hell for playing the Jet 2 holiday song during their reveal, which leads me to believe that might be a little bit of foreshadowing. But I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear that. I didn't really have too much to say about Christine in the cast reveal video. But you know what? I actually really like her. She said,
I want to have kids and I want to have the Super Bowl house. Like I want to be cooking out and making snacks for the kids, all the friends, the family, the guys, like my girlfriends. The Super Bowl house is definitely my fairy tale ending.
This is actually something that I legitimately think about all the time, because I grew up in the Super Bowl house. My stepdad loved football, and we would always have football parties and Super Bowl parties at our house. The adults would be doing their thing, I don't know, because I was a kid. Everyone would bring their children over. I'd have a lot of fun. My mom would be making the little hors d'oeuvres, the little finger foods. I just have really good memories of being the Super Bowl house. And I always envisioned being that house for my future family, for my husband. And I'm just happy to know that that's not a bizarre thought that I have, that other people actually think about being that too. And I really do feel like I connect with Christine because she has trauma. I say it all the time. I connect better with people who've experienced a little sprinkle of trauma because it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like being a part of an exclusive fucked up club. All trauma impacts you, right? But there is something very unique about experiencing childhood trauma, because in your mind you're like, oh, that happened a long time ago, it shouldn't matter, when the reality is it impacts every single aspect of your life as an adult if you experience childhood trauma. And I mean like serious trauma, not like my parents wouldn't buy me every single thing I asked for. I guess that'd be traumatic in the moment, but I'm talking darker stuff, like parents addicted to drugs, things that are going to frame you as an adult. So yeah, I really do tend to relate more to people who've been through some shit and have done or are doing the work to heal themselves. That's the important part. But healing truly is a lifelong journey.
I think deep down, my dad's probably like a decent human. It's just he's been affected by so much stuff his whole life.
Have you forgiven him? No. Yes?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess if I don't know, probably not.
Vic shared this story about his mom and it was absolutely heartbreaking.
Like I heard like, you know, fighting or something coming from another room. And I went to the door. My mom like kind of cricked open the door and I remember seeing like like a hand grab her hair and then the door closed.
Now, I do worry about people in the pods who have both experienced trauma. Even though I think it's something that they should discuss because, like I said, it's gonna come up later, so you should discuss if you have any underlying issues. However, I worry about them trauma bonding. And I only bring that up because it is a real thing. I have definitely trauma bonded with people in my life before. Like I said, it's like being a part of an exclusive fucked up club. Especially if I find out that you had the same type of trauma that I had. Oh yeah, we locked in based off that alone. And so I worry about people in the pods who do talk about trauma and that being the thing that they connect on, and then they forget, oh, we have to have other things in common. But in this case, I do think they actually had a genuine connection outside of the trauma, so I think they might be okay. I also want to say that Christine looks so good in her reveal dress. She had that dress on, okay? And I think they look good together. Okay, so y'all, I'm editing this video right now, and I was just scrubbing through some footage so that I could share a clip, and I coincidentally landed on a clip of Vic calling her Christina instead of Christine. He don't know this woman's name. Forget everything I said. This ain't looking too good.
I told Christine I don't need to see her to know that I see her.
Jordan and Amber are the second couple to get engaged, and they might be the first to split. And I'm sorry to say, but judging from this reveal, Amber is not attracted to this man. The face usually does not lie during the reveals, and her face told a whole damn story. She tried to force herself to enjoy kissing him, and I gotta be honest, that was a tough watch for sure. She didn't want to uncross her hand for him to put the ring on. They almost fell over, Lord. And she put her hand over the ring box, and I think that may have been involuntary. You know how if something is flying towards your face, your instinct is to just put your hand up to block it? That's what I think this was. I think she saw him about to grab the ring, and her instinct, subconsciously, involuntarily was, shit, I don't want her to put this ring on me, and she covered it up with her hand. That's how that played out to me. I don't think she likes people who aren't skinny, and that sounds crazy because when I look at Jordan, I don't see someone who's obese or anything. Like, he is definitely not up next to see Dr. Now. He's not small, but I also don't think that he's big. He's the type of size where I look at him and I'm like, yeah, okay, if he wanted to get in the gym and get a little more, muscle, that'd be good. But also he doesn't need to. But she did say this.
What if we don't have any natural chemistry?
As long as it's not like some 6-year-old man that's like fat and like nasty.
No, yeah.
And I think she might be thinking that about him. I don't know. It's unfortunate because I think they really would be great together. I think he would be a good stepfather. Even though he was hesitant about coming into the picture with her having a 7-year-old, he really did warm up to the idea. And I think he'd be a fun-loving stepdad. That's the vibe that I get from him. And he seemed genuinely excited about it. They both love cooking, so he was 100% going to join her in cooking those waffles on Sunday. And look, me and Jordan are on the same page.
Cooking, that's my love language. That's how I show you that I care about you.
He said that 6 different friends of his DM'd him when they found out that Love is Blind was going to be in Ohio. They said, my boy, it's about that time. Okay? Not I have an actual watch and I didn't hit it. We will see how things play out for these two, but I'm not really holding my breath. I don't think she likes him. Also, y'all remember when I said that Amber looked better as a brunette with this deep red, brownish hair? Yeah, that's because that's her natural hair color.
I'm not a redhead right now, but I am naturally kind of a redhead.
And she should go back to that because the blonde is not working out. Next up, we have Mike and Emma. Now, I don't know how I feel about this pairing. When I did my cast reveal video, I said I was concerned about Mike because he explicitly said that he's the type of person who is superficial. But he also said that he would never judge Emma for her birthmarks or her scars.
I will never judge you for any type of physical appearance.
And I believe him because judging someone for something that they have no control over, like, I don't know, say sexuality or race, would be insane, right? That's crazy, so no one would ever do that. In addition to that, she actually happens to be his type, which is dark hair and a nice smile, so it kind of worked out that she is his type. Who I'm actually concerned about being the wrong fit in this relationship is Emma, because he wants children and he's steadfast about that, and she's a maybe. And I feel like she's more maybe leaning no versus maybe leaning yes. Her reasoning for not being sure on kids is very valid, but it's an issue nonetheless. She's afraid of having kids because of the fact that she was adopted and she doesn't know what kind of medical issues are in her DNA, especially because of the fact that she had the birthmarks and they were possibly cancerous. So she's just weary of having children because of that. But correct me if I'm wrong, in this day and age, you can get genetic testing that can get pretty microscopic on diseases, and some of the rare ones too. And I think that he could also get tested. They can compare it against each other. Hey, what are the chances of this, this, and this? And so that might not be something that she actually needs to be concerned about. Now, she did mention that her parents were white, and this is actually something that I'm interested in. I always wonder how people from drastically different cultures adopt children who have nothing to do with their culture. Especially when you think of something like China, because Chinese culture is so rich. And when you compare that to white Americans, well, most of them don't even season their food. I think the same exact way when I see white people adopt black children, or even if you want to say African children, whatever. African and black American are two cultures that are very rich. So I just don't know how you as a white person would raise a child from such a rich, culturally rich culture. I do think that her parents are great though. She talks about these Christmas cards that her mom writes every year, or used to write every year, that was kind of like recounting the events of the year and also the children's milestones. And one year she wrote this about Emma.
Emma, here we go, is 5.5. Don't make the mistake of leaving off the and a half. Emma developed an enormous medical vocabulary over the last several months and can probably name more types of bandages than the average intern.
I think that is real cute. I'm thinking about taking that and putting that in my back pocket, okay? Maybe that's her culture. And in line with that, Mike gave her a scrapbook that he's hoping to fill with their memories as they go along the Love is Blind journey. And I honestly think that is super cute and super romantic. Green flag. Now, I do need to briefly speak on Steven, because him and Emma do have pretty significant amount of conversations in the pods. What I really want to discuss though is the breakdown in that relationship. And I want to preface this by saying that these thoughts are completely independent of the allegations, meaning I would have arrived at this conclusion regardless of his allegations. Firstly, I think that he talks a good game. I like that he talked about wanting to be a big brother. I think the story about his grandparents is super cute.
They didn't speak each other's language at all. He just went up to her one time, like pointed at the clock and like gestured to meet me here at that time.
And I also really like what he said here.
You can hear about love, but I like saw it my whole life.
Seeing is believing, and a lot of people get good representation, but a lot of people don't. Some people never even see their parents together. Me, for example, I never saw my parents together. And then some people do see their parents together, but they only ever see a toxic relationship, which is arguably worse. So I do think what he said is a very true statement. I also think though that he is a prime example that bad apples can come from good trees. Emma opened up to him about her scar like she did with the other two men, Connor and Mike, who she was also talking to. And instead of attempting to comfort her in that moment, he said, well, it doesn't look like you want to talk about it, so let's move on.
I feel like you don't want to be asked questions about it right now. I can get you out of this funk, girl. You want me to get you out of this funk? I'll tell you like how far I'm willing to go to share details about my life.
And I get it. He didn't want to push too much on a sensitive topic for her. I understand that. But the topic that he moved on to was a very bizarre choice. He started talking about his first kiss, and then he goes on to tell the story of losing his virginity in detail.
A bunch of light was coming in. We were like laying on this floor. She like gave me a kiss.
And he wants Emma to reciprocate and tell her story.
Are you comfortable telling me about like how you lost your virginity?
Now here is where I'm going to put a trigger warning for CSA, and I'll also include a timestamp for you to skip to if this is not something you want to have in your day. On top of the regular reasons that are strange for someone to push this topic of conversation, he definitely should have known better than to push it while it was being filmed. Because hear me out, what if Emma's first experience was her being essayed? I think past being a teen where everybody's talking about their first kiss and losing their virginity and all that stuff, this topic should not really even come up unless someone is offering it casually as you're having the conversation about yours. Emma did not sound like she wanted to talk about it, and the way that he kept pressing her rubbed me the wrong way.
Was it like early in college, like freshman year type thing?
I was just like, it is what it is. I like this guy, he likes me, like, let's just see how it is.
So like 19, 20?
The percentage of CSA, and if you don't know what CSA is, it's childhood essay. The percentage of that in girls is 1 in 4, I believe. It used to be 1 in 3. It's so likely that any woman that you're talking to at any given time had a CSA experience. And so if she is saying, it's not a big deal, I don't want to talk about it, I don't really remember it, let it the fuck go. He also seems incapable of understanding that not everyone's first experience is a great experience. He was damn near belittling Emma because she didn't really remember who her first kiss was with, or it didn't really feel like a special moment to her.
I feel like you were like, go deep, and I'm like, okay, I've gone deep. First kiss, even like virginity stories, like when I like asked you, it's like a guy in high school. I feel like your first kiss is different than a kiss in college with a random guy.
Yeah, but I don't think my first kiss was special, and that's my story.
He also seems to have an unhealthy obsession with the virginity scene in The Notebook.
You never saw like the abandoned house scene on the floor?
No.
Like the creaky wood floor where they just lay her down and
Nope.
Rachel McAdams can't deny him.
I have my own issues around things like that. Maybe that scene is really popular, but I mean, spoiler alert for The Notebook. When I think of The Notebook, I think about the scene where they died together because their love was so strong that he literally could not live without her. That's what I think about. I don't go back to the losing virginity scene. I think that's just a strange scene to pick out of all that. I don't know. Again, maybe my own experiences are coloring my opinion on that, which is valid, but I just didn't think that that would be a scene that someone would harp on. And so within this context, coupled with the fact that he kept pressuring her to tell her story about her first kiss or whatever, I just found it to be odd. All of that said, I am so happy that Emma got the proper response from the other two guys that she told.
I was born with birthmarks all over my body, and so I am left with physical scarring.
Appreciate you sharing that with me. Just from you telling me that, I think you'd be a great mother.
Thank you for sharing that. I know that's fucking tough.
Because that's the response that she should have received from Steven. Moving on to Alex and Ashley, I like these two together. I think they look really good together, actually. And I do think that they're attracted to each other. I was a little concerned about them at first because their whole thing seemed to be we have sexual chemistry, and I'm sitting here like, y'all are in the pod, you shouldn't be harping on sexual chemistry, y'all should be talking about how you became a better person, how'd you overcome this, how'd you overcome that, why are you ready to be a husband or a wife? But y'all just talking about sexual chemistry.
Me and Alex do have sexual chemistry, and I'm very excited to test that out. I'm sweating, you guys. I need to go freshen up the downtown.
I am just gonna stare at you the rest of the time. I see the piercing gaze.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. Dangerous eyes already.
But I do think that they have some real chemistry. The meeting went well. He brought her his hoodie with the cologne on it, green flag. Now, Alex did have me scared for a second because he was another one who said, you know, I care about looks a lot. And like we have discussed many times, looks matter to everyone at the end of the day. So it's gonna come down to it. But if you were someone who is like, no, these very specific type of looks matter to me, then you're gonna have a bad time on Love is Blind. And I don't even know why you would come on this show knowing that your POV on a type is on the complete other side of what Love is Blind stands for. It's such a huge risk for you personally, I just don't get it. If you lined up all of my exes, they would look literally completely different. You'd be like, how many people's exes are these? Because this can't be from one person, yes. All 4 of my exes look completely different. So I'll just say that. But yeah, if you're someone who does specifically have a type and you're like, my type is tall, dark, handsome, then that's your type. Going on a show like Love is Blind is a huge risk, and you're opening up yourself and others to heartbreak. Next up, we have Devo and Brittany. In my cast review video, I said that Devo rubs me the wrong way. He's continuing to rub me the wrong way. Something about him gives fuckboy. And on top of that, he's over here calling her a woman of color when his full name is Devontae, spelled Devonta, and he has black features. Somebody needs to tell him that he's a person of color, because I don't think he knows.
I fell in love with Brittany, just so happened that she is a woman of color. You know, that's something I've never actually dated.
And honestly, I don't really have too much else on these two because I don't think that either of them are each other's type. She mentioned his weight. It doesn't seem like she's into guys who have a little bit more weight on them. And I do think that's gonna come up later as an issue.
He's definitely not somebody that I would probably have gone for. I mean, we're all gonna get fat one day anyway.
And he doesn't seem to like women of color, so I think that's gonna come up as an issue for him. And I think he has some own identity issues with his blackness, and that's probably why he has issues with her being a woman of color. Now, women are more likely to date down in the looks department so long as everything else is up high. So financially, personality-wise, if that's good, they'll tend to date someone who's medium ugly. Men don't tend to do that. And since both of them don't seem to be each other's type, I don't really see this relationship making it too far past the pods, if I'm being honest. Not too much on the other couples, but we have Jess and Chris. Didn't I tell y'all that Jess was the doctor in the Apocalypse movie who wants to find a cure, but nobody listens to her until it's too late? Yeah, that's who she is.
During COVID, I was like in the ICU, like watching people dying all day.
Oh my God. So you're like front lines.
Yeah.
And I love what Chris said about it.
Anybody who works inside a hospital during that time period, like listening to like a bunch of bullshit from like outside world and like seeing people in there, it must have been tough.
Now I do have a bone to pick with Chris because in his confessional, he said that Breezy was on his top. Now he didn't say she was #1, but on the top sounds oddly close to #1.
Brianna has always been like on my top since day 2. I've only had one number one. It's Jess. Like, I was like, it's literally Jess.
Okay, well then what was the reason for Breezy being on top? Last but not least, we have Speeds and Breezy, that being Connor and Bree. Mr. Brightside is his favorite song. It's a good song. Shout out to Netflix for getting the rights to it.
Whether it's karaoke, singing Mr. Brightside.
I, however, did not, so we're gonna cut it right there. Breezy said that she wants a man to put her in her feminine energy, and I love that for her. I'm confused on why she chose Connor instead of Chris though, because I think that she had those types of conversations where she felt more in her feminine energy when she was talking to Chris, and so I don't know if Connor's gonna give her that full experience.
How does someone bring me into that feminine energy on an emotional level?
I can guarantee you'll never have to worry about booking a restaurant reservation. I'll just tell you what time.
That's what I'm saying, like that stuff.
But I do think that they're attracted to each other, and I think it could work. I also love that Connor's parents went back and watched Love is Blind to kind of see what it was going to be about. I think that's really cool. And his dad told him to make sure he cleans his apartment, because we have seen some messy apartments and we have seen some downright dirty apartments on this show. So shout out to his dad. One thing about Connor though, he was putting stars next to a lot of names.
Literally like put 3 stars next to your name. You have like 3 stars already. My sister's gonna.
So I don't know, but I do have to give them this. I feel like they had a great reveal, so I think they're going to be okay.
Stop it.
Gosh.
Stop.
Oh my gosh. You're freaking gorgeous.
And then I just have some final thoughts. Elissa doesn't really show up later in the show, but she's the woman who accidentally put nail glue in her eye because she thought it was eye drops. I know someone who did that. Apparently it's more common than people may think. So either the eye drop people or the nail glue people need to find a way to differentiate their drops, because this happened too many times that I know of. Additionally, I thought Vanessa's dress was really good. She had that shit on. Okay. And finally, I'm sad that we're not going to get to see Tyler, Keya, Priyanka, and Dr. Haramol. Those are 4 people who I really was looking forward to see go through this experiment. We didn't even really see Dr. Haramol get any FaceTime really, and Priyanka either. I'm sad about that. And then, of course, Tyler and Keya ended up with someone who didn't respect or appreciate them, so they got screen time, but arguably it was terrible. So I'm sad I'm not going to get to see those people go through the experiment. I was really looking forward to those people in specific. Aside from that, I'm going to have my next batch of episodes, which I believe is just going to be the honeymoon episodes, up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I know I did this video a little bit differently. Usually I just do the episodes in batches, but because this season had an incredible amount of pod episodes, I just had to do it by pods versus after the pod. So that's what we're doing. I'll see you tomorrow to discuss the honeymoons. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye. Come on, get down with the sickness. Come on, get down with the sickness. Oh, I should have drank water before I had put my lip gloss on. Messing up the whole little flow. Are you down with the sickness, Shadow? Wow, my skin is really fucking glowing today. Really fucking glowing. And it was all down here from you getting more medicine in an hour. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Girl, I need you to stay front and center, girl. I put you at the top for a reason. You're supposed to be a top knot. You back knotting right now. It's giving back knot.